Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the crypto news here, and I got this aggressively average content to you today. As guys, we have a great day in the crypto market. We have a lot of things pointing in our direction. We have beautiful price action. Bitcoin is hovering towards $31,000, as remember, I told every single one of you publicly on my channel. I think a 35K to 45K mark may be in store for us in the coming weeks. Ethereum also exploded today, up 11% past $2,100, and XRP hovering around $0.52, getting ready for its next pump upwards. And that being said, I'm going to give you all massive reminder that from the Waters Above Crypto interview we had just a couple days ago, we do expect the potential to break $0.90 to $1. I believe a lot of people after this Waters Above interview got extremely frustrated, and the reason why is because you've been sold a lie by people purporting Riddle's David Schwartz just the other day. Distanced himself from the Riddle community, debunked a lot of speculation, but now we're zeroed in on the truth about XRP. And the truth about XRP is that it's a fantastic cryptocurrency that can do outstanding things. But if I want all of you to understand something about me, it's this. I come on this channel every single day and try to provide you with the best information possible and the most truth as possible. It has always been said, he who speaks the truth is often hated by society. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2022, I believe we were going to be going into an altcoin season. That was a mistake. 90% crashes came instead. People love me because I believe we were going into an altcoin season, going to see XRP past $10, but it never came. I believe in what I was saying, but I was wrong, and I have absolutely no issue coming out here and telling you that that was a mistake. But something you also need to understand is, over the past 2 years, I've been hard at work to make sure that that never happens again. We're looking to be accurate. We're looking to be right, because being right is something we need in order to make money. We need to prepare. And despite the fact that this short-term projection is not a moon mission like many expect, it is realistic. Look at the times we're in 2024, I do believe we can hit that $15 to $20 target. I've been speculating we can hit for a while now, but as for right now, be happy with what comes. Do you risk a little from crypto? Reposition yourself for the crash that will come this summer into October. And then get ready for the moon mission, because it's pure blast off from there. I'm not here to deceive you with FOMO or with FUD. I'm just here to tell you the absolute truth from the analysis that I believe is most accurate. I can't stress that enough. I'm genuinely here to serve, and I think you all know that. I remember the other day I was reading the comments sections of the Elon Musk Twitter video that I made regarding XRP and a lot of things going on. Well, Elon Musk yet again goes one step closer to his everything app as Twitter enables trading via Etoro, and Etoro Twitter partnership is one of the biggest things I've ever seen. Elon Musk is incorporating financial services. Oh, if the central bankers were scared of Facebook, they better be scared of Elon. Elon incorporating crypto, incorporating trading. That's going to be a monopoly. That will be the everything app, and I genuinely believe sometime down the road. A Ripple XRP partnership could be in the wings. Now that specifically is speculation, but based on everything I've been seeing recently, it's not unfounded. Not for a second. In addition, guys from Wall Street Silver, BlackRock believes the Fed will be forced to cut rates without reaching their 2% inflation target, which I agree with. It states Americans will have to live with high prices for the years to come, and we have been talking on this channel for a long time about when a Fed pivot will come. 2% inflation was always a fantasy. The reality is quantitative easing into infinity and beyond, accompanied with specs, is the inevitable endgame. And here, Anthony Pompliano on Fox breaks it down perfectly and why this justifies the adoption of crypto. He gave an absolutely fantastic take, and I want you all to listen to it.
And if there is one thing in the world that I will bet my life on, it is the fact that Bitcoin's monetary policy will continue to execute exactly as designed. Whoa. No one in the legacy financial system can even tell me what the Federal Reserve's monetary policy is going to be a month or a couple of weeks from now. It's impossible to plan. The average American cannot plan their life. The average entrepreneur cannot plan their business because they don't know if the cost of capital is going to be 0% or 5%. They don't know if we're going to be in a quantitative tightening or quantitative easing. But Bitcoiners know the monetary policy till the day they die. It is written in code, audited by anyone in the world. And as long as that code continues to execute, that monetary policy will not change. And that is the beauty, is that you can trust an algorithm just as you do in the rest of your life. You trust Google to give you answers rather than ask your friend. You trust Spotify to give you music recommendations rather than ask a friend. You trust Google Maps to give you directions rather than ask a friend. And eventually, I think you're going to trust an algorithm with your monetary policy more than you're going to trust any other human in the world.
Now, guys, Pompliano made an interesting point. 3 things most people don't know about money in bank accounts. 1, it's not yours. 2, it's not there. 3, it's not money. And with what Pomp said about not even knowing what the Fed policy is going to be, not even a week from now, that makes everything more real. Cryptos as a whole are immutable. And that's why the next generation financial system is going to run on a number of digital assets, in my opinion. But first, we're at a crossroads right now. What we're about to see come to the world is a central bank digital currency for every country. But before that, the slow and gradual transition into a digitized payment system and a more centralized financial system where the big banks and the central banks control everything is what's next to come. And if you don't believe me, know that Fed Now and the banks are beginning to speak loudly. Caitlin Long stated the Fed is really playing defense about Fed Now amid the sudden surge of critics, and Fed Now has certainly gotten a lot of attention. Fed Now blatantly stated they're not a CBDC, and they give a big list of what they themselves claim to be. But let's be honest here, how many of you actually trust what the Federal Reserve says they are doing? I don't. That's for sure. Regardless, this is a mainstream conversation and a mainstream discussion that cannot be ignored. And before we get into anything else, you need to know that I agree the Fed is not launching a CBDC, but this is the first step towards that. And as this XRP case comes to an end, as the digitization of the financial system is coming with Fed Now in July, all of us need to understand what a CBDC-style system will look like, and I think this visual will give you a great example.
You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee. Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days.
And guys, I hope you paid attention to that, because I am 110% convinced 2023 is going to be the year of the accelerated rollout of central bank digital currencies due to the financial crisis that is looming. It is so close we can feel it. But something I need to stress to give all of you confidence is that XRP was built to solve it. Here I'm going to show you guys that Christine Lagarde, the former head of the IMF and the current head of the European Central Bank, is over here in Washington, D.C. on behalf of the European Central Bank, talking about the current state of world affairs in the financial system. And what I want you all to know is that Lagarde was part of the highest level meetings with Brad Garlinghouse, and I believe during her reign as head of the IMF she helped build. That infrastructure for the next-gen financial system, I think XRP is going to play a pivotal role in that. And every time she begins speaking as loudly as she has, you better pay attention. She's already calling for a digital euro in October, and I think a lot of things are about to be brought to the forefront. Very soon.
Well, I'm here in Washington, D.C. on the occasion of the spring meeting of the IMF and the World Bank. There's a lot of activity going on, and I'm sure the topics will include debt restructuring, financial stability, the fight against inflation, and fragmentation. For my part, as president of the ECB, I will focus on de-entrenching inflation, particularly core inflation, which is our mission. I will talk about entrenching the recovery that we have, and I will talk about the anchoring of inflation expectations, among other things. My hope is that we can have good discussions and that cooperation, multilateralism will be at the core of our debates.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to cap off this video for today, I don't want to play you this interview from Rail Paul, as Crypto Eddie has posted something that I've been discussing gradually on this channel for the past couple videos. The United States needs to be very careful, as the largest online-only bank in Hong Kong has started offering crypto to fiat conversion services through licensed crypto exchanges. While the US is getting tyrannical, while the United States is falling behind. While the SEC wants to cripple innovation as opposed to helping protect retail investors. While the SEC has made a climate to destroy American progress when it comes to the digital asset space, other countries are looking to steal our best entrepreneurs. Gary Gensler is about to get a grilling April 18th by Congress, and they better put him in his place. Gary Gensler is a rogue actor, and the United States SEC is a rogue entity. All of us in this community especially, and the larger crypto community as a whole, need to band together against this tyranny. And that's the only way we'll be able to win and see the fruits of our investments. I'm a big believer that this RIP1 XRP case will end in our favor. And if it does, good Lord, the floodgates will open. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Crypto News here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Look, not being a US citizen, I guess I take a maybe a more global view of their position or where they sit today, I think they need to be careful about risking, the prime position the US dollar has in this market. I think if you looked at it with a cynical view, you could say, the best case outcome from a monetary perspective was that crypto never existed. The second best outcome from a US perspective was it exists, but it trades against a US dollar as the prime currency that it's traded against. And so, if this asset class succeeds and it grows into anything like I expect it to grow into, it'll drag the US dollar into new places, right, and into new grounds. And we've kind of seen that with stablecoins. When you move through Southeast Asia, you see people using Tether in jurisdictions where you never saw US dollars before. In a way, it's been that sort of first wave of pushing the US dollar into new markets. And let's be frank, they need new buyers of US dollars given the deficits that they're running. And so I think the US is in an incredible position of building that almost that kind of new sort of petrodollar type system where they become the kind of core currency against new asset class. And I think they need to be careful that they don't risk that, because there is alternatives, right? It wasn't ordained that this asset class had to trade against the US dollar from day one, right? Like it could have had another currency that became that sort of primary currency that it was benchmarked against, and it's just been the US dollar to date. But if that gets too hard,
Chinese try and, because the Chinese have used it for capital flight, so they've kind of liked the stable coin, right? It's been very useful for them. They get money out, Southeast Asians get money in, and it's kind of this nice kind of two-way flow. But what happens if Binance kind of scale the RMB stablecoin because it's pegged to the dollar?
Yeah,
it's kind of like a cheeky way of the Chinese financing themselves potentially.
Yeah, or a Hong Kong dollar. Like a Hong Kong dollar stablecoin would make a bunch of sense, right? It's a currency, again, pegged around the dollar, and it's a currency that most people in the world, particularly in the finance world, are used to getting. And if I was to look around the world at a key competitor for potential US dollar, it would be, Swiss, for stablecoin, it would be Swiss franc and Hong Kong dollar. Now, the Swiss franc has a problem with negative rates, and so it becomes kind of super expensive in a stablecoin construct. But the Hong Kong dollar sits in a pretty good spot, some of the points you mentioned, plus that sort of already ingrained in the global financial system. So,
and the Chinese are ramping up Hong Kong again in crypto terms.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing as we've watched this US frenzy of regulatory activity over the last sort of month or so. The counterpoint to it is Hong Kong kind of opening, and then the market that dominated crypto when I first entered the space seems to be kind of awakening from a few years sleep. And I think the Hong Kong regulatory landscape that comes in and the start of June is extremely exciting for the space, and it provides that nice kind of counterpoint. And to be honest, that sort of competitive tension that the tech needs to make sure that regulators don't overreach.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Foundation, Ripple, leading Australia's CBDC effort, Ripple, who hired a former Treasury of the United States, Ripple, 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board, Ripple, 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team, Ripple, who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website, Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.